Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. You have arrived. And how do we do it?
No, wrong button.
Oh.
Click the side button right here. There we go.
Hey.
This side one.
Lessons, my first time. All right. So, as I said, welcome, and I'm welcoming not only everyone in the room, but anyone who is out in YouTube land watching us from their home or wherever they are. So let's please stand and we'll get started with our first community song. Chest, so I am blessed. Yes, I am blessed. Ooh. I have grown. Yes, I have grown, and I'm finding my way home. I have grown. Yes, I have grown. Thank you, Lauren Montgomery. And this one?
No, the other side.
This one?
There you go.
Aha. Whew. Well.
The other one.
Back.
Keep going. Let me get you set.
It's a clicker, you guys.
Okay. So we did the song, and now we're here. There you go. And you're just going to hit this one right there. Okay. Now.
Oh. Well, I should have gotten those instructions earlier. Thank you for bearing with me. Good morning, one more time, and welcome to Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. And now is the place where I say, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. My name is Marilyn Gale, and I'm delighted to be the host for the first time today. And I don't see any children here, but let's go ahead and rub our hands together and send out prayers, thanks, and great futures for the children. Now, what we believe, well, who we are first. We are a supportive, inclusive spiritual community that celebrates all of life. And we aspire to live authentic spiritual lives through a practical application of the teachings of science of mind. And what we believe, this is a high-level summary of science of mind beliefs. There are just 4 things that we're going to mention right now. The first one is that all thought is creative and influential. So that means if you're thinking it, then you are influencing what you experience. So watch what you're thinking. Number 2, there is only God. Evil and devilishness starts and stops in our minds. So whenever we're confused, just remember there's only God. Nothing else actually exists. Number 3, everything in our experience is either a call for or an expression of love. So be ready to experience love in all transactions, whether it be a giving or receiving of love or receiving a call for love. And just recognize that that is so. Do your best. Number 4, we are each of us whole, perfect, and complete, exactly as we are in this moment. And that is that. Now, I'm going to welcome any guests. If anyone is here for the first or second time and you feel comfortable, please raise your hand so we can welcome you. Yay! Welcome. We hope you have a good experience today. Now I'm inviting Bonnie to come up to light our inclusion candle. We light this candle to celebrate the unity of all peoples, all faiths, all beings, all life, honoring the infinity of oneness as all creation, seen and unseen, to remind us of the light of spirit within us all. Thank you, Bonnie. We are a praying community here at Sierra Center, and there are lavender-colored prayer request sheets in the seat backs that you can fill out if you are interested in receiving some prayer throughout the week. You can put your completed prayer sheets in the wooden box located to the left of the entryway. And prayer is also available after service. Okay. Today's practitioner is Reverend Julia Scott. She's actually in Texas, but she will take a phone call and share with you in prayer after service. You can ask and you'll be directed on how to do that. All right. And also, if you're joining virtually, you can visit our website at sierracenter.org after service, and you can click on the spiritual support and prayer, and one of our practitioners will reach out to you sometime after service. Now I'm inviting Diana to come up to the podium to read our community announcements for this morning.
Thank you, Marilyn. Good morning, everyone, on this beautiful spring day. Doesn't get much better than this, does it? My name is Diana Carolyn. I am your president of your board of trustees. And we are taking teens to camp in Oregon. Sierra Center for Spiritual Living received a grant. Thank you, Karen, for spearheading that, to help send teens 13 to 18 to camp in Oregon, July 11th to 17th. And we still have 2 scholarships available. So if you know any teens, hook them up with us. See Rev Mitch for more info. Do you have a heart for guiding young people on their spiritual journey? We are seeking a children's church program coordinator to replace Jessica to lead and grow our Sunday children's program. If this sounds like you or someone you know, please reach out to Rev Mitch. Face decorating workshop with Lisa Bonet. Is it Bone or Bonet? Bone. On Sunday the 31st from noon to 2 p.m.
Hello, I'm excited to offer a fun, creative experience in Grass Valley. My name is Lisa Bone, and I hope you will join me for a hands-on workshop where you'll transform a simple glass vase into a stunning piece of art using beautiful, layered floral designs that look like they're painted on. No experience is needed. I will guide you step by step, and you'll leave with a finished vase you'll be proud to display in your home or gift to someone special. The cost is $25 and all materials are included. This workshop is perfect for all skill levels, craft lovers, and anyone wanting a fun, creative experience. So join me on Sunday, May 31st from noon to 2 p.m. at the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living, 119 Florence Avenue in Grass Valley. This is more than a class. It's a chance to unplug, get creative, and make something truly unique. Spots are limited, so sign up today using this QR code or by calling area code 530-274-1018. I hope to see you there.
Thank you, Lisa. That looks like a lot of fun. Greg Joseph, a master educational healer, international healer, is coming to Sierra Center on Friday, June 12th, to give a free talk and Q&A session from 4:30 to 6. Play video.
Well, hello everybody there from the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. I'm very excited to be coming there to do a presentation for you and to do some healing work. I do high energy frequency healing work. I got into this a long time ago. My wife was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and they basically sent her home to get her things in order. Well, I didn't accept that, as they told me I couldn't have children, and we had 2 beautiful children. So I went on a journey. I stopped building homes at the time, and I found myself going to places like India, sitting at the feet of the masters, Sri Satya Sai Baba, Guru Amma, Guru Ma, Sri Bhagavan, a great deal of Eastern type philosophies that I found out it was just about knowledge to be able to heal. It wasn't about some secret gift, that everybody seems to talk about. It's really about knowledge, and I'm here to bring some of that knowledge to you, to help you to understand, not understand by standing under somebody else's ideas, but to understand in your own heart how to do healing for yourself, and to actually change whatever it is in your life you'd like to experience change in, whether it's to find a really good relationship, make more money. There's so many things that you can accomplish just by knowing these particular knowledge. We've been practicing who we are since we've been born, and we've been taught things by a lot of well-intentioned but maybe not so smart people about this kind of knowledge. Well, I'm here to bring that to you. We can do this in an hour session where we sit and actually I'll put you on a table and I'll move the energy. Sometimes I talk all the way through it, sometimes I don't say a word. It depends on what your higher self directs me to do. So I just open the door for you to be able to heal, to be able to change your life exponentially in whatever direction you'd like it to go. So take a chance, come on down and see us. I'll be doing a presentation at your center there, and then from there you can set up appointments, or if you're already led and feel good about this, set your appointment up for that day before I even do the presentation. I'll be there for a few days and that's it, and I've got to go. So come on down and see what it's all about. I think you'll really enjoy what you hear. All right, take care. Bless your hearts.
All right. Thank you, Greg. June 12th. The rummage sale has been scheduled for June 27th from 8 to 2 at 133 Brunswick. It's the corner of Brunswick and Maltman. It's a great way to declutter, go through your garages and those closets, save up your stuff. Please sign up to help. We need some sorters, people to help display things. So save the date. And is there a PowerPoint for that too? There you go. Okay. Info, flyers, all that stuff is on the table. Friendly reminder to please silence your cell phones. And thank you all.
Now we have our next song by Lauren Montgomery.
On the waves of love, I find my way back to love. On the waves of love, I find my way back to love. Sing with me. On the waves of love, I find my way back to love. On the waves of love, I find my way back to love. I find my way as the river finds the sea. I find my way. I find my way. I am open to receive. As the river finds the sea, I let love find me. Find my way back to love. All together. On the waves of love, find my way back to love. On the waves of love, find my way back to love. On the waves of love, find my way back to love. On the waves of love, find my way back to love.
Hello, beloved community. In preparation for our spiritual reading, I'm going to invite us to just take a deep breath and get centered in this moment. And our reading today is from the Science of Mind book, page 512, and it's under the meditation section. And it's meditation 2 and 3. Oh, for a tongue to express. Oh, for a tongue to express the wonders which the thought reveals. Oh, for some word to comprehend the boundless idea. Would that some voice were sweet enough to sound the harmony of life. But within, in that vast realm of thought, where the soul meets God, the spirit knows. I will listen for that voice, and it will tell me of life, of love, and unity. Speak to me, Spirit. O soul of mine, look out and see. O soul of mine, look out and see. Look up and know thy freedom. Be not cast down nor dismayed. Be uplifted within me and exult, for thy salvation has come. Behold the wonders of the great whole and the marvels of the universe. Look out and see thy good. It is not afar off, but is at hand. Prepare thyself to accept and believe, to know and live. Let life enter and live through thee, soul of mine, and rejoice that thou hast vision so fair and so complete. Rejoice that the perfect whole is so completely reflected through thee. My light has come.
And now we will do our ohms. Om is used to center the mind and connect the breath to the universal energy. Upon striking the sound bowl, breathe in and exhale Om. We will do it 3 times and then go in to our meditation period.
There is one infinite power and presence, that one that I call God, life, the universe, creator. It is that presence of love that is in, through, and as all of its creation. Is right here where I am and right here where each of us are, for we are in that one. And in that one lies all the beauty, joy, harmony, peace, prosperity, abundance of all kinds. It has already been given to each of its beloved creation. And so I know that we are part of and as this one presence of the divine, that is the divine. And so today I claim and accept for each one of us here that we are a beloved and blessed community, that each one of us is here on divine purpose. And so I know today's service unfolds beautifully with joy and effortlessness and ease. And I just give thanks for everyone coming together today to co-create this wonderful experience as spirit, as we each show up to play our part in the giving and receiving of life unto itself. And so with gratitude, I release this word as our truth, and together we anchor this as we say, and so it is. Namaste.
And now the song Everything You Are by Further Ado.
This song is written by our good friend Colin, actually.
Loving one another in the world these days ain't just a thing to dream about. What if we remembered all the simple ways? And when we got together, let the love pour out. It's a simple thing to adore your friends, even those people you don't know about. A wise one said it's all love in the end. So I love you all without a doubt. And I see you, and I celebrate your heart, and I love you for everything that you are, everything you are. Even if I tremble with your gaze on me, you know I really want this connection. So I surrender, consent, and receive. Show me how to love with a pure intention. Show me I'm not just an empty shell. Could you really love me through my trying times? There still are times I don't love myself. But when I look at you, I feel so divine. And I see you, and I celebrate your heart, and I love you for everything that you are, everything you are. Kiss my face and my cheeks turn red. I trust you now to hold me safe, 'cause I've always dreamed of a love like this, surrounded by 1,000 soulmates. What if we all just did our part to love and be loved so natural. What if we're perfect as we are? Every one of us is magical. And I see you, and I celebrate your heart, and I love you for everything that you are. Yes, I see you, and I celebrate your heart, and I love you for everything that you are. Everything you are is love. Everything you are is welcome here. Everything you are is perfect, dear. Everything you are. Everything you are. Everything you are.
Let's give it up for Michael and Lauren. Further ado. We love you for everything you are. That was beautiful. Happy Sunday, everyone. Turn to somebody and say, glad you came today. That's weird. Glad you came today. Everyone online, glad you came today to be with us. So I'm ready for a festival today. That's why I'm wearing my jeans. I'm going to Mary Lou's Festival of Life. Who's going? Who's going? Yes, good. We're going to show up strong. 1 o'clock today. Everyone's invited. Longtime member here at the center. Made her transition a couple months ago. We're going to be at the Schramberg Estate. There are flyers and address there, so please come join us for a Festival of Life. We have The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. Who's heard of that book? Anybody? Okay, good, because you all need to know about it. Catherine Ponder has been known as one of the premier authorities on prosperity. So whether it's prosperity for you is more time, more friendships, more money, whatever it is, Rev Julia is heading up an effort to bring this powerful book to the center, and we're going to do exercises around it. And what I love about this book, besides that it's very impactful when you do the exercises in it, is that she creates, for every exercise she gives you a real life story of how that exercise was demonstrated. So there's an interest list on the round table. If that speaks to you, sign up on there. Let us know when you would like to attend, and we'll make that happen both online and in the room. All right. Well, I like to start with a little humor. There was a person, this person was circling the parking lot, desperate to find a parking space because they were behind for a job interview. Anyone know that stress? And they looked up and said, Lord, find me a parking spot right now. I will go to church every single Sunday for the rest of my life. Suddenly a spot opened up right in front of them. They look back up and say, never mind, I found one. Found one. Got it. Good. I'm good. Don't have to. Little quid pro quo there. So one of the questions I'm working with this morning is, what if the most spiritual thing you could do right now isn't to pray harder or to think more positively, but to doubt with more vigor and passion? I'm going to start with a little confession. The other day, I opened up my social media and I got grabbed by a headline. And I started to read the news. And I had convinced myself civilization is crumbling. The future was bleak. My efforts are pointless. And I was convinced that there are bad people in the world trying to do bad things to me. And I lost 4 minutes of peace. Anybody lose that 4 minutes of peace sometimes? Yeah. But I didn't stop to ask how much of that was really true. And I had actually projected a story based on some of this information and what it meant to me and people like me. It was emotionally charged. You know, the story's good at hooking us. And the algorithm knows just how to find certain people who are going to be really scared with this headline. I didn't doubt it. I just received it. I absorbed it. I let it settle into my nervous system. And it hardened and it took shape and form. And it felt like something solid and real. And sometimes that's what we do. Sometimes we think we're being skeptical or discerning. But everything around us in the headlines and the news is designed to evoke fear. And when we listen without question, not only do we get stirred up, but we tell 3 people, anyone, I gotta shoot this over to somebody. In fact, somebody did that to me. They shot me over a story that I belonged to a kind of a marginalized group, and she had found the story and sent it to me. And I just responded back and I said, thank you for your concern, but I don't really walk around in that energy. In other words, those types of things really I don't need to have in my consciousness. So I want to flip this, and I want us to make a case that doubt is not the enemy of faith. It is faith's greatest ally. That doubt used wisely is one of the most spiritually mature tools we have available to us. And I want to show you what happens when we stop doubting the good and we start ruthlessly doubting fear, the narrative of fear. And here's the thing. Our culture, particularly Western culture, we've been taught that doubt isn't a good thing. Most of us grow up with a specific story, right? We've been told that doubt is, what? Weakness, wavering, the opposite of belief. Belief is the thing you need to move mountains and change conditions. We even have a term for people that doubt. Doubting Thomas. You're such a doubting Thomas, right? It's become an archetype for the failure of faith. You know, and this doubting Thomas story came from when Jesus was resurrected, and people ran up to Thomas and said, Jesus is back. And Thomas said, I won't believe it unless I see it myself. And so Thomas shows up to Jesus and says, well, I see it, but I'm not sure, right? And Jesus didn't say, what, you don't believe me? I told you. Jesus didn't shame him, didn't judge him. What did Jesus do? Jesus said, come here. Touch. Know for yourself that I'm real. Right? So we've had 2,000 years of that story used to shame people. But a see for yourself, healthy doubt helps us know things deeply. So Thomas now became the one that believed the most. Doubt invited a direct encounter with truth on a deeper level. Philosopher Paul Tillich wrote, doubt is not the opposite of faith, it is an element of faith. Paul also argued that faith that has not been questioned is not mature faith. Sometimes this faith that's just living in the concept or idea becomes a dependency or magical thinking. And we can wear it like a spiritual costume sometimes. We can use it to bypass. But real faith, the kind that holds you when the whole world is shaking, is a faith that's been tested. It has looked at the dark and asked, is this really true? So if doubt is not the opposite of faith, what is? Anne Lamott has an answer for us. She says the opposite of doubt is certainty. Have you ever met somebody who was so certain and you were doubting their certainty? You're like, you don't see this and you don't see that. Anybody ever meet that person? Right? And that's exactly where some of us want to live, don't we? Don't we just want to know? I mean, there's some comfort in certainty, isn't there? But certainty without walking the path of doubt is incomplete. And that's what we need to remember. You know, neuroscience has something for us in this as well, that our brains are threat detection systems. Our amygdala, which lives roughly somewhere here, has evolved over hundreds and thousands of years to keep us alive. It's an extraordinarily good at perceiving danger or even something that may look like it could be dangerous. We are hardwired to perceive threat. Now here's the problem. Our amygdala cannot tell the difference between a lion on the savannah and a news headline. The tripwire of threat gets triggered and our whole nervous swings into action. That is not a conscious process. Dr. Rick Hansen, a neuropsychologist, he's the author of a book called Hardwired for Happiness. I want to read that book. Anyone want to read that book? Describes it this way. The brain is like Velcro for negative experiences and Teflon for positive ones. We are wired, literally wired, to receive bad news as more real than good news. More real. Why? Here's why. Because a false positive in thinking, if we think there's a lion and there isn't, it just costs us a sprint, right? Or a reaction in our nervous system. But a false negative, missing the real lion, will cost you your life. That's why. So evolution has built in a negativity bias into our biology. And that bias is now being leveraged. Media systems have designed their ads, their news lines to trigger this part of your brain. And when we are using the amygdala, it is not a thinking brain. It is not a critical brain. It is not a questioning brain. It is a reactive brain. So we have less critical thinking coming on after the news line, after the headline and the news story and the big thing that said. What comes on after? Whether you're on social media or TV, what comes on after? Commercials. Guess what? We're still here. We're not thinking clearly. Oh, maybe I do need that skin cream. Maybe I do need that car. Maybe I do. See, it's not an accident. And here's some data from a 2019 study published in the Nature Human Behavior that found that negative news stories consistently generate significantly more engagement than positive ones. More clicks, more shares, more comments across all cultures. Because the negativity bias is built into the hardware. Fear spreads fast and gets attention, bottom line. So when we absorb the headlines without questioning them, we're not well informed. We may be well triggered and well awake, but we are not well informed. And you're being well groomed for someone else's interests. That's why the questions that doubt generate are so vital in this age, in this onslaught of information. So much of this information through the lens of a fear narrative. So the most radical act of discernment we can perform is to ask, is this story really true? And what is the story trying to get me to do? What's the agenda here? Right? So that is the doubt. Can be used as a mental discipline, a spiritual practice. And you know, even in Science of Mind, and this is what I love about Science of Mind, is Ernest Holmes wrote a book this big, and he said, look, don't believe a word I say. He said that. He says it in the book. He says, question it for yourself. Know it for yourself. Know your higher power for yourself. He invited opposition, question, critical thought. That's one of the big reasons why I like the teaching, and I trust it because it has credibility. Anything you can't question, you have to wonder what's really going on here, right? You know, a story about someone who exhibited ruthless doubt about his situation was a man named Frank O'Day, whose doubt about his situation led to unimaginable success and healing. See, Frank grew up struggling, and by his mid-20s, he was living on the streets of Toronto, homeless, alcoholic, and broke. To say his circumstances were dire would be an understatement. There was a story in his environment that was telling him, you're not going anywhere. Look at you. You can't even stop drinking. And there were people that would walk by him and look at him with judgment or disgust, or not even see him at all because he didn't even count as a human being. Right? Everything was telling him, you're nothing and you'll never be anything. And most people, and a lot of people do accept that story. They just give up. I mean, I can understand. Seems like everything's stacked against you. The evidence seems overwhelming, but Frank didn't buy into that. He doubted those stories. He doubted that narrative. Not with positivity, not with a vision board and a green smoothie, although I don't know where you get a green smoothie if you were homeless in Toronto, but with a ruthless, stubborn refusal to accept the narrative of his circumstances. He got sober, he got off the streets, and eventually Frank O'Day co-founded the second cup of coffee chain that grew to over 400 locations across Canada. That's what doubt can do for us sometimes. He applied that doubt inward against the fear voice that was saying, this is all there is, this is all you ever be, that's impossible. Doubt voices of smallness and limitation. He rejected them passionately. Even many spiritual traditions embrace this practice of doubt. It isn't new. The mystics and the sages across all traditions for many years have embraced the questioning mind as a sacred mind. The Sufi poet wrote, beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. And what I love about that quote is it pays homage to doubting polarity and separation, that there's only two options. He gives us a third option to say that there's something more than just right or wrong, that there's a field. And what's left when we let go of this rigid polarity is we stop insisting we already know the meaning of everything, that there's another space to move into. You know, Buddhism builds doubt directly into a practice called Zen. And the concept is called the Great Doubt. It's Daiagi in Japanese. I think I said it right. I don't know Japanese, but that was my close interpretation. And it's considered one of the three pillars of Zen practice alongside faith and great determination is great doubt. The teacher Yamada Koen Roshi wrote, the greater the doubt, the greater the awakening. The greater the doubt, the greater the awakening. See, doubt is the framework. It is not the enemy of enlightenment. It is the engine of it. So what does this doubt look like in real life? Not in a monastery, not in a philosophy seminar, but on a Tuesday morning when you wake up anxious and overwhelmed. Well, let me give you a framework to work with. We'll call it the 3 doubt questions. And the first one is to ask, is this actually happening right now, or is this a projection of what might happen? Is this actually happening right now, or is it a projection? It's what I call fear casting. We take a fact, we apply a little logic, and we project it into the future. And the difficulty with that is we're living it in the now as if it were truth. We're going to bring our doubt to that because that creates anxiety of an imagined future. Things like the economy's collapsing, my relationship's falling apart, my health is declining, right? We're always looking for meaning of where things are going. Remember, negativity bias, coloring that story. But is it? Right? You need to stop and ask, but is it? Is it really? Is it doing that right now? In this breath, in this present moment? The second question to ask is, who benefits from me believing this? Is there another agenda behind this information or story? We need to take a beat before it gets in and starts doing these things. Right? This is media literacy to question, because in the media, fear is the currency. If it bleeds, it leads. Right? Outrage is the business model. So before you let a story reshape your internal landscape, maybe ask, who wrote this? What is their belief system? What lens are they looking through? What do they want me to feel? What do they want me to do with this feeling? How do they want me to behave? Right? Get to that next layer. You are allowed to be a critical consumer of the stories that enter your mind. And number 3 is, what would I see if the fear cleared? Like if I could get past my triggered nervous system, what would I actually see? This helps us get back from the amygdala, not a clear thinking machine at all, to our prefrontal cortex, the thinking, critical, questioning part of our mind. See, if you are in fear, you are not in thinking clear. If you're in fear, you're not thinking clear. So check in with yourself. Where am I right now? So often we forget to do that. I forget to do that. I need to do that more. Where am I right now? Many of us have lamented that the world is ending. But what if the world's not ending? What if it's opening to new and greater ways of living in human form? See, you can't see that when you can see that when the fear clears. You can only dream into brighter scenarios and possibilities when we get past the fear narratives. Anyone ever say to themselves, gosh, I wish I didn't have to work for a living? Some of you don't, but at one point you might have said, I don't want to go to work, right? I just want to be out by the river. I want to go for a walk. That might happen. Some people are talking about universal basic income and that we wouldn't have jobs anymore and we'd have to recreate what life means to us. Maybe we become more creative. Maybe we take better care of the earth. Maybe we actually do get to go walk in nature on a regular basis. Right? Maybe that's where we're going. But that isn't what we're casting in our heads. See what I'm saying? Now, you may ask, is all doubt good? Is some doubt toxic? Well, doubt becomes toxic when it shifts from a tool for discernment to an identity. See, healthy doubt asks the question and it moves. Toxic doubt stays in the same question loop everywhere. The sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. I doubt that the world's going to a good place. I doubt that I'm a good person. I doubt that I made the right decision. That's toxic doubt, right? It targets the self instead of the story. You start doubting your capacity. It becomes almost like spiritual self-erosion. That kind of doubt is toxic. And I love what Ernest Holmes told us. There are some things we shouldn't doubt. We shouldn't doubt our wholeness, our worthiness. We shouldn't doubt our inherent power for good that we can use. And what I love about spiritual communities like this is we can come here when we forget and we can help be reminded of these truths, that we're whole, perfect, and complete just as we are, even if we have a little extra here, or we have an empty bank account, or whatever the conditions are, right? Faith that has been tested, the faith that doubt produces, is completely different from the faith that's never been opposed. Unexamined faith is fragile, right? It works like this: when the sun is shining, your team is winning, we can all have faith. Right? But the moment the diagnosis comes, the relationship ends, the plan falls apart, unexamined faith shatters. It can't carry us through the threshold of uncertainty and change because it was never really faith. It was optimism dressed in spiritual clothing. That's why doubt is so important. Maybe more of us should be doubting Thomases. See, faith that does not shatter, that faith is a foundation you can put the full weight of your human experience on. I love what the poet Rainier Marie Rilke wrote in a letter to a young poet. Be patient towards all that is unsolved in your heart and try to love the questions themselves. Live the questions right now. Perhaps then, gradually, without even noticing it, you will live your way into the answer. Isn't that beautiful? Live the questions, not the answers to the questions. See, and doubt is not a stopping point, it's a threshold that carries you into more questions. So here's the invitation, and I want to leave you with this. The next time the noise gets loud, and it will, the next time the fearful story rises up and says, look at this is the truth, this is what's real, this is what you should fill in the blank. I want you to use some doubt affirmations. I made this up, doubt affirmations. I doubt this is the whole story, right? Somebody comes to you with a whole juicy gossip about somebody. You remember there's 3 truths. My truth, your truth, and the absolute truth. So doubt that story. I doubt this is the worst. I doubt the worst is inevitable. That's a good doubt affirmation. I doubt the worst is inevitable. I doubt this moment means what the fear says it means. Remember, negativity bias. We're looking through that lens. I doubt every contracted, small, diminished version of reality that fear is trying to hand me right now. I love what Rabindranath Tagore says. Faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark. And what I love about this quote is that the bird doubts that the darkness will last forever. And I invite you to doubt that the unending darkness is upon us, because only then, when we doubt that darkness will last forever, when we turn to our knowing that it will end, we can begin to envision a new day. And as we envision that day, we become co-creators of it before it arrives. We shape it. Blessed be. Thank you so much. If you will, please rise. I will read our affirmation once, and then I will invite you to read it with me. I doubt the anxious chatter and fear-filled projections long enough to get beneath the noise where I find a faith that was never shaken, only buried. Together. I doubt the anxious chatter and fear-filled projections long enough beneath the noise where I find faith that was never shaken, only buried. And so it is. Please have a seat. We will invite you to go ahead and get your gift in your hand. And we will read our affirmation here in a moment. You can also text your gift to Sierra CSL 44321. And if you will, take your gift and put it on your heart and read with me our intentional giving statement. I give this gift with love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And it is with a deep and grateful heart that I receive these gifts. And I know that giving is a way of participating in the cycles of giving and receiving. And that these gifts not only bless the center, but they bless the giver. in this divine circulation of the energy of money, knowing that it flows through the center to continue to bring truth, love, belonging, inclusion, healing to so many. And I know that these gifts radiate out through the center into the community, the state, the nation, and the world. And so I simply give thanks for this and so much more. And together we say, and so it is, and so it is. Before I jump into our gratitudes, I do want to mention just one thing that I forgot to mention earlier. There is a walk for faith, justice, and democracy. And the reason why I love mentioning this is in our kind of system of belief, we're about focusing, we're for something and against nothing. And what I love about this walk is it's for faith, justice, and democracy. And it's going to be happening on Saturday, May 30th at 1 o'clock, and they'll be gathering on the corner of Neal Street and School Street. And they'll be making their way to Condon Park. Or you can just show up at Condon Park. I think there's going to be a potluck and so forth. So if you want, just come up and take a picture of this or write down some notes so that you can be for something if that speaks to you. So I would like to thank our ushers, Javon and Pat. Give it up for Javon and Pat. Our candle lighter, Bonnie. Announcements, Diana. Streaming tech, Diana and Virginia. Sharon on sound. Sign placer, don't know. Virginia, no, Diana. Practitioner of the day, Rev Julia. And Javon was ready for Children's Church. Give it up for him. He had all kinds of things ready. Our newest platform hostess, Marilyn, hostess in training, and our musician, Laura Montgomery, and also, further ado, Michael, the duo. So glad you're both here today. What are you taking away from our experience together today? Shout it out. Doubt my doubts. Doubt your doubts. Oh, I love that even better. Happiness. Love. Beautiful. Going once, going twice. Okay. Doubt as the doorway. I love that. Beautiful. Recognize what you want. Don't get stuck in fear casting and all of those negative visions. Wonderful. So if everyone will please stand, we will do our benediction. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now. Something wonderful is happening as me right now. It's this thing called challenging certainty. It's this thing called living the question. It's this thing called doubt as an element of faith. I know it. I feel it. I sense it. Because I am it. And so it is. And we will do our closing song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony.
All right, everyone, before you run off, we have a little something special. So, it happens to be Reverend Lanny's 80th birthday today. And we have a little something for Lanny, so get out your cameras. Here we go. We have a little, yes, we have that.